Welcome into DC On Screen, the podcast bringing you news and reviews from the DC multiverse of film and television since 2015. I am your host, David C. Robertson, and this, my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hi.
Man.
Been a sec?
We gotta do this show more.
Yeah. Some stuff came up.
It's a lot to wade through.
Yeah. Some stuff came up at a weirdly energetic time for DC news.
Yeah, it did.
Where are you bastards when we're like slow and actually don't have anything going on? Can't drop a trailer then? Fuck.
They're just like hiding in a closet somewhere with their thumb stuck up their ass. I don't know. But it's like one of those closets that you only see in movies that have like the little like blinds. You know what I'm talking about?
Kind of.
So they can watch the guy with the gun.
Yeah. Which is weird to me. I've never seen one in my life either. I've never seen like a French door closet either. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, I've only ever seen it in movies.
Mm-hmm.
All of the closets in Alabama, I guess, are just
doors.
Really shitty doors.
Just doors. Or open and don't have a door.
Yeah. Oh, or those awful like sliding.
I have seen the sliding
fold
ones.
out.
Those do suck.
We had those in my old house when I grew up and where I grew up, and we removed them.
Yeah, the moment you get a pebble in the track, the whole thing's fucked.
Mm-hmm. Or a penny,
or in your house where you grew up, I assume a grain of cat litter would be a problem.
No. Back we didn't have cats back then.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say like a cigarette butt or something.
That would be an issue too. Yeah. That would. So the cat strayed in after that period, I suppose. Okay.
Yeah, that was well after. The cats came as a result of all of us having moved out and my mother having empty nest syndrome.
Oh, that was how that worked. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, let's start this thing out.
Fire it off, man. Fire it off.
So this is going to be a little bit of a catch-up episode. Shazam! Fury of the Gods came out. We remember that. We talked about that. It flopped hard. I think undeservedly so. But it made...
undeservedly on quality, but deservedly on marketing. Yeah.
It made $128.5 million worldwide. That's worldwide.
Well, it made $25 more when I bought it this weekend on digital.
On a budget. This was on a budget of $125 million. So yeah, it is available on demand, as you just said, and on May 23rd, it'll be available on 4K and Blu-ray. So I guess go and do that.
It really is worth it if you didn't actually get out for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an enjoyable movie. It's not perfect, but it's enjoyable.
Nah, I mean, there were questions about the first Shazam 2 as far as, its quality, and I don't know, man. If you like the first one, you'll like the second one. I'll say that with severe confidence.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Good. I did too.
At least rent the damn thing for $4. Fuck. Take a risk.
I don't think you can rent it for $4 yet, can you?
It was rent or buy on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was still rent for like $20.
No, yeah, you're right. It's like $19.99 still. You're right.
I know I'm right, Jason.
Shut the fuck up, you confident bastard.
It's only because I just read it.
How dare you be right in my presence?
Oh,
still worth the $20. Make it a family night, man. Come on, pop your like free cheap popcorn. Have a normal human-sized soda.
I say if you're just okay with spending the $20, just spend the $25 and just buy the damn thing digitally.
Yeah. You'll rewatch it.
Don't rent it for $20. Don't be stupid.
I agree. There's some pot commitment there on that one.
Moving over to The Flash, according to the MPA's filmratings.com, The Flash will be rated PG-13 for sequences of violence and action, some strong language, and partial nudity. Who's nude?
I assume it's Michael Keaton's ass. I just
Fingers
have to
cross for Supergirl. Since you're bringing that up. Like, no, please, don't let it be Michael Keaton.
If I were talking about a personal preference, sure, I like your suggestion, but if I was asked, would seeing Michael Keaton's ass in this film make me laugh? Fuck yeah, it would. Fuck yeah, it would.
we had a TV spot that came out advertising the next trailer for The Flash.
Which I momentarily thought was the date of the release of The Flash and therefore teased me.
Right. But yes, the new trailer will come out April 25th. It is, as of this recording, April 16th. So we've got a few days. But I I enjoyed, I guess, the TV spot. But something deep inside of me was very angered at the concept of a commercial for a trailer.
Oh, that's standard practice.
It just makes me angry. Just like, here's a TV spot advertising the trailer because we got to get those views and engagement and all that on social media. So check out the advertisement for our movie coming out April 25th.
Well, it makes me feel like the trailer house was slightly behind. And they just kind of said, like, well, get me a fucking teaser for the fucking teaser then. I want it by Friday.
Yeah. And by the way, can I just complain about this really quick? I'm seeing all over the social medias people posting stupid shit.
I don't want to complain about you saying social medias, but keep going.
I got to keep hip.
But as you were, sir.
You know, you got to stay young, Jason.
No, I decidedly don't, according to my body and weight. And probably blood tests.
As my lungs fail.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. What the hell was I talking about?
You were angry about the social medias.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah. I keep seeing all these comparisons, people putting out shit like, you know, special effects in 2004 with Spider-Man versus, you know, a moving shot. Because this is, they use like, it looked like a nice promotional still. Maybe it wasn't even CGI. Maybe it was just a guy in a Spider-Man suit. Versus a moving shot that clearly had like a CGI body on it of Barry being electrocuted by the lightning, by the Speed Force.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying, oh, it's de-evolving. I keep seeing these people post stuff about how, y'all, it's a completely different kind of shot. Taken out of a completely different context. Like, what are you just like going through like TV spots now? Freeze framing it on the worst looking thing?
Yes, that's what's happening. I mean, to answer your question, yes, that's the answer.
It's just so frustrating because, like, just watching the TV spot, it didn't look bad. It would just look like freaking comic book movie, man.
Yeah. I mean, these things are, there's a lot of variation to it, too. Like, slightly on whim, slightly being reminded by a post from our friend Pewd that I went back and watched the Scorpion fights from Mortal Kombat just the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this last movie, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But some of the fights were fun. And especially the Scorpion ones. But then I went back and watched like the Johnny Cage versus Scorpion, and fuck Christ, man. It's terrible. It's all kinds of, like, it doesn't matter what version of practical and graphic effects you have involved here. It's awful. Like, these were just two bad movies with different budgets, and they're still, I don't know, the one worked for its time. The other one looked okay for its time.
Well, look, you know, but I loved the original.
In the effects world, there are still just like better and worse people at their job, for God's sake.
But yeah, if you go back and you look at the original Mortal Kombat's budget, you will, in a much greater capacity, feel the line when Johnny Cage says, "Those were $500 glasses, asshole." That was half their budget.
Yeah. The prop master cried that night.
Like Lyndon Ashby doing his very best take on Harrison Ford.
I've never heard it that way, but that sounds accurate. That sounds very accurate.
Now I want to, man, I know it's bad. I know it's got to be bad, but I want to go back and watch Mortal Kombat now. the old one.
All right. Patreon episode it is.
Higher.
We got to actually start making a list of the stuff we say was going to be a Patreon episode and doing it.
I know. Well, we want to do Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. We're both reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we stumbled upon that a couple weeks ago that we were. So we need to do that as well. Patreon.com/DC on screen if you care.
In ledger terms, I'll be the bigger man. No, wait,
What?
that was Leto.
I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. I don't remember that line from either.
No, it was in Justice League. I watched it yesterday with my daughter. I just also watched the ledger stuff on a whim again.
Yeah.
I was on a
I
YouTube
so
run.
rarely have 4 hours.
You do a little bit of YouTubing when you're just like idly watching a terrible show with your daughter.
So Justice League is a terrible show.
Oh, no, she was watching some other stuff.
Oh, good. Grant Gustin was asked point blank in an interview if he appears in Ezra Miller's The Flash. And Grant says there's been a lot of rumors out there for a long time, and no one's come out directly and asked me ever on the record. People ask me on the street all the time, but no, I'm not keeping some big elaborate secret.
That's not even an answer.
It sounds like he said, but no, I'm not in it.
I mean,
I'm not
yeah,
keeping
but
some big elaborate
no,
secret.
Period. I'm not keeping some, like, the way you said it, it's like you said, like, yeah, people ask me, and here's the definitive answer. I'm not keeping a secret.
Yeah, it does seem like that, but I think he means no, he's not in the movie.
I believe so, too. As much as I would like to see him, because that would be a really fancy tie-on. Them having met before and all.
That would be cool. That would be obvious. I don't know why they wouldn't do it. Oh, God.
I mean, he's sick of Vancouver, but I don't know where they actually filmed the movie.
I don't know.
Probably a few places.
Probably outside of some place where Ezra Miller was being arraigned. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like
Where'd you film the Flash? Wherever Ezra wasn't in trouble at the moment.
Yeah.
We just went there.
We just built a blue screen in a police parking lot.
Yeah. I have not actually heard any of those charges come to fruition, but
no, nope. I mean, just the theft charges from breaking and entering and theft charges from when Ezra borrowed a bottle of liquor from his childhood friend.
That was right.
Or their childhood friend, I should say.
That's right. To that end, I once borrowed, I guess, roughly a 16th of weed from a friend. He was unaware.
Mm-hmm.
He was asleep at the time. I explained it later.
Right. Yeah.
It's a little bit of robbing from Peter to tell Paul about it later kind of situation. I made it right. Just in a crunch. Had a test.
All right. Moving over to Blue Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
According to a new report from film music reporter Bobby Krillick, the Haxon Cloak has signed on to score Blue Beetle. They previously contributed music to projects like Midsommar, Snowpiercer, and Paper Girls. Blue Beetle is reportedly joining James Gunn's DCU. They've been very quick to make sure everyone knows that after Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people saying, it doesn't matter. Why not? Because of you, dicks.
Yeah.
I spit my arm in a leg. Did you watch the Blue Beetle trailer?
I did. It got like a weird lackluster response of like, oh, it's another superhero movie. Fucking, it's another superhero movie, dude.
Yeah.
If it's that much, if you're not here for that, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, the thing is,
it's
and
gonna be an origin story. Spoiler.
Yeah. Look, I get it though. It doesn't look interesting to me.
I'm gonna be interested on the grounds of like yes, if you didn't know who the hell Blue Beetle was, and God knows GA won't.
Yeah.
Then I don't know. I wouldn't care, I guess. But knowing the backstory there, I'm interested. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
I'm sure it's going to be good.
I know Jaime Reyes. All of the stuff with the Scarab looks fantastic. all of the stuff.
Literally
with,
looks fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, like that
fucking sword at the end. Boss
yes,
as
the
hell.
sword of the everything, the cutting through the bus, all that looks badass.
I think I cut a bunch of two or something.
Badass. And did you notice the bug ship?
No, I don't think I did.
They are literally in Ted Kord's bug ship.
Oh, sweet.
And it looks like it has like, I don't know, 80s or 90s like graffiti like on the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been through some tough times, you know? And there is a shot when they're all inside of it, because from what I understand, George Lopez's character is going to be the one who knows how to fly this thing or can figure it out how to make it work. But
I can deal with that.
There's a shot while they're all inside, and you can see there is a Dan Garrett Blue Beetle and Ted Kord Blue Beetle suit on the bug ship.
That's
I mean, comic accurate, man.
yeah. That I didn't clock that, but I know exactly which fucking suit you're talking about, and I'm gonna be happy to see it.
Yeah, go back and look, man. Go back and look. It's there. It's there in all its glory. That was exciting to me. The movie doesn't look fantastic. Some of it, like I'm gonna try to give it the benefit of the doubt until the second trailer, because this is the first trailer, so this is where they're like trying to throw all the schlocky humor at me, which in this case mostly is just George Lopez screaming in a really shrill voice. And he annoys the shit out of me anyway, because he's not funny.
I don't disagree with you on that one, but like
it's like Hack City.
Yeah, I mean he's never been my flavor, but I mean I hate to disappoint you before the fact, but it's going to be exactly what I said. It's going to be an origin movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have some heart. It's going to have some comedy. It's going to find itself in the third act, character wise, as far as the art goes.
Sure.
Like you know this movie. Like don't go into this expecting to like read Shakespeare's new work before it fucking got on stage. Like
no,
this is what it is, man. I mean,
Shakespeare ripped off a lot of his works, though.
From Francis Bacon, I know.
Hey, well, from several people.
And who was the other guy? The Faust guy. Who wrote that?
Oh God, I don't remember that.
That monkey's paw motherfucker. It
Oh.
wasn't actually the monkey's paw thing, though. It was just a Faustian deal with the devil kind of thing. It's going to kill me when you say it. Like, I'm going to be very angry with myself.
Johann Wolfgang von Goethe?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
I'll look it up in the background. I'll just shout it later for no good reason.
Sure. That'll work. I don't know what the hell you're talking about anyway. God. But yeah, I have high hopes for Blue Beetle. I'll go check it out. I'll, throw a little cash behind it and see what happens. Not looking great so far to me, but, whatever.
I don't know. I don't.
Just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just not going to hold it in less regard for being like particular to a genre. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I am excited for the Dan Garrett and Ted Kord ties.
And
I'm excited for the bug ship.
Yeah, true. I mean, closest you've ever gotten to that is Watchmen.
Yeah,
truthfully, but I'm not going to be like, I don't know. It's just going to be what it is, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not tied to that idea. It may be terrible.
Mm-hmm. So Angel Manuel Soto, the director of Blue Beetle, was talking about the comic accurate roots for the movie. He says the New 52 was a big inspiration as far as the suit goes and other aspects of the story, but we took a lot from bits and pieces. There are a lot of great stuff in all the different runs, and we were like, man, how do you choose one? We were like, do we have to choose one? No, let's do whatever the fuck we want with it. Just have fun and create something awesome, something really interesting that takes the greatest hits, even from the Injustice 2 game. We really really deep dive on it because it's fucking dope.
I'm down with the Injustice 2 game.
I do too. That's interesting. That is an interesting I wonder what they took.
Also, for anyone who's yelling at us, Christopher Marlowe.
Oh, okay. That one guy. Just Marlowe!
That was actually that was the content of the Wilhelm scream. Marlowe!
But yeah, man, I really hope it does well. I hope Blue Beetle is really good. I hope it's not, 80 minutes of George Lopez being annoying.
I don't think it will be. I mean, honestly, even him, and I get it. He's never been like someone I'm super attached to, but even the one scene where they're talking about destiny and you do what you do with it. There's going to be some heart and mentorship in his words. Like he's not going to just be like a farcical sideshow the entire time.
No, he's going to be George Lopez, which is farce, and then like one-on-one
a moment of heart.
Jesus, like in one of his mini sitcoms.
Yeah,
Danny Tanner, and
it'll be exactly that, but with a beard.
Yeah,
so that'll make it big.
Yeah,
you'll be all right. You'll be okay, buddy. You'll make it.
With ridiculous Batman as a fascist rhetoric, because we needed more of that shit.
That did crack me up. Because
hey, you know what we do? What if we take that really annoying argument on Twitter that everyone kind of comes up with, like they just thought it up, and we put it in a DC movie? Ooh,
that'll make it better
for laughs, no less.
I mean, now that you say that out loud, that actually is my favorite use of that argument.
Mm-hmm.
And I do mean this. Come at me, but hit me up. I would actually like to hear some real reasons why Batman's a fascist.
Oh, you know all of them.
No, I said real ones. I mean, I get the argument that vigilantism in general is problematic because philosophically, yeah, I see you, but it's not fascistic. Like it's slightly different.
Yeah, it's not just he's beating up poor people in the streets. Come on. He beats up a lot of rich people in their offices too.
Honestly, my favorite, that's actually my favorite argument about it is like if Batman was a fascist, it wouldn't be Batman. It'd be Bruce Wayne with all of his money and resources would just be a fascist. Mm-hmm. Like he could actually fund that.
Yeah,
he wouldn't need the cowl for that shit.
And maybe he should.
Is that where you're leaning right now? Is that where we're going? Is it time?
Yeah.
Is it time? Just take control of Gotham. Just do it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I would like that story. If he was just like, the hell have I been doing?
Hang up the cowl, Alfred. Fuck it.
I am spending a lot of money on stupid bullshit. I should just buy everyone.
Sell all of our equipment. Wait, nope. Those are dangerous weapons. Burn all of our equipment.
Melt it down. I'm gonna go get everybody in my pocket, and then take over Gotham the way a real fascist would. Mm-hmm. And
I feel like I just heard you disappoint yourself with that thought.
No. I was thinking about how great that story would be.
how used it would be.
Yeah, like just turn Bruce Wayne into Donald Trump. And then from there,
but like a smarter, more efficient version.
Yeah, just make him like total Justice Lord it, but without the. See, that's the thing. That's one of the things that I love about Zack Snyder's take on it. Like, yeah, he could do that. It ain't about that. He gets off on being in a suit.
Yeah,
he gets off on the violence. There's something deeply depraved about his justice.
He can still do the other things, Like I was saying, we watched it last night. The about the bank thing still cracks me up.
Mm-hmm. All right. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. The release date moved up.
Really?
Yep. It was previously December 25th. Now it's December 20th.
Great idea, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Good work.
They just swapped the musical remake of The Color Purple for it, so...
Interesting.
Whatever, man. I'm ready for Aquaman to be done. Like, just put it out.
Yeah, just let me see it.
Have you heard all this kerfuffle about how, like, the test screenings are just terrible? Now it's apparently, like, one of the worst movies ever.
I have not, but that will be surprising.
I haven't heard how accurate those are, but there's a lot of buzz about how bad this is.
I mean, it's hard to judge. Test screenings are kind of shite themselves, and then the reports of those screenings are often also shite.
Well, I mean,
it's hard to know.
According to the reports of test screenings, The Flash is the best movie that's ever happened.
Yeah.
So it's the reason that, we've all been waiting for these many years since film was invented. We've been like, man, we just waiting on a movie that's going to make this worth it. And now The Flash is here, and that's what it's going to be, man. That's the one. Fuck Citizen Kane. This is the one right now.
Yeah.
This one here.
The savior. This is the great hope, the great white hope or whatever. No, fuck fuck you. No, sorry. This movie took the same amount of time to build as every other movie takes. Like, there have been 5 attempts to build this movie, roughly.
It better be good. All that shit.
and it looks good. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. But it's not like they took, it feels like 15 years at this point to build this perfect exemplar of a movie. No, they went through a bunch of takes. There's gonna be, God, the credits alone are gonna be a nightmare. I would hate to be the person who decides what goes on that.
Mm-hmm.
Is this and or ampersand? I'm confused because Grant Morrison was on there for a second. We used this idea. Fuck off. I don't want to be involved in that at all. I just want to see the fucking movie.
Yep. All right. Joker 2 has wrapped. Folie, whatever it's called. It has wrapped. Yeah. We've been getting a lot of set pictures of Harley Quinn.
I even sent my wife one of those because she's a big Lady Gaga fan.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know if that's true. She was at one point in her life in a formative year.
Okay.
But yeah, I showed her that just because I thought she'd think it was funny. She did.
It's interesting. I have to say, I don't give a shit.
About her in particular? Or?
About Joker Folie, I just don't care.
See, we thought that about Joker in general.
We did.
And then it was fantastic.
I agreed. I did enjoy the shit out of it.
I mean, the only problem I have with that movie at all is that one extra bullet in that 6th shot. Other than that, I think it's damn near a perfect movie.
I think that was on purpose.
See, I know, and you made that argument, and I think there's merit to it, and that gives me comfort.
That's like Todd Phillips being like, no, I'm going to make you question reality.
I know, and I like your take on that. It does. It salves me. But genuinely, a near perfect movie, for God's sake.
Yeah, I just don't feel any excitement whatsoever for this. I don't give a shit.
Oh, you will.
When I see it, I probably like it.
No, you're going to see the trailer and be like, oh, fuck. I'm going to block some time here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Although, weirdly enough, actually, I may be wrong about that. The trailers for the first Joker didn't excite me. And then when I actually saw it, it was different.
Yeah. It was just cinema. It was very.
It was
good.
Art. I mean, it was I was not expecting anything that happened right then.
This is just a really good movie that commandeered a comic book IP.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I'm cool with. It was clever. It's a clever way to get your independent movie made.
No, but I mean, at the same time, I have similar feelings about Watchmen as a property in general. I feel like that was a story or a lesson, a moral lesson in general that happened to use characters that were out there. And if you look at the original drawings from Alan Moore, he hijacked characters and just revamped them to make.
Well, only because DC wouldn't let him use the characters from Charlatan.
Oh no,
Charlton, whatever it's called,
and that was
Charlatan.
Yeah, but historically, that was a good thing. Frankly, it shouldn't have been the people that he was thinking of at the time. I think it was better for it just to rebuild that and make it a separate universe. And God, it was genuinely impressive. It was better storytelling than the characters needed to be there for. I don't know how to phrase that, but
yeah, I think it was still analogous enough to be what he was really doing.
Yeah,
but
And then, after the fact, he tried to burn everything down. But,
Yeah, well, they screwed him over, as they're wont to do.
Yeah, they are wont to do that.
On that note, you want to go to a break?
Sure.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll talk about the Penguin in production teaser, and we'll talk about Creature Commandos cast announcement and a bunch of other shit. So don't nobody go nowhere.
Salutations, my fellow food lovers. This is Chef Mark here from Johnny's Italian Steakhouse, and I want to tell you about our filet Oscar. This premium filet is topped with Johnny's lump crab cake, grilled asparagus, and our signature béarnaise sauce. But the start to any great night always begins with a killer appetizer, and I recommend trying out our jumbo pan-seared sea scallops with Brussels sprout slaw tossed in Johnny's hot bacon dressing. It is so good. I know that you will love my filet Oscar as much as I love preparing it, so come to Johnny's tonight. Johnny's Italian Steakhouse, Village Point Shopping Center, Omaha.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
All right, I guess we're back. Are we back, Jason?
We're back.
Cool. Did you watch this Penguin in production teaser?
I did.
How'd you feel, man?
I felt great.
It does look really good.
It looks fantastic.
Colin Farrell, of course, killing it again.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I told you this earlier, but I genuinely just chuckled when he shoots this guy. I don't know who he shoots or why, or I don't know what the fuck happened here. No context, but he just guns a man down and just laughs. I was like, yeah, that's my guy. That's Penguin. That feels right.
Yeah.
I like the idea of him standing there. It did feel a little bit like Gotham in a certain way. Mm-hmm. And No Man's Land in proper context. Just standing there thinking man, we're at a critical moment here. I can make some real moves, or you can be a nobody. And apparently he went the first way.
Yeah. Yeah, take what you want.
Yeah. That's what I made for you. This is going to be a great character altogether.
Looks great to me. I'm excited. It kind of looks like an old-timey mob movie almost.
Well, and another thing I appreciated is it's very much shot the same way as the Batman.
Yeah, and I was talking to a buddy of mine, and who was lamenting the fact that we have to wait till 2025 for the Batman Part 2, and I was like, well, not really, because
in the meantime,
you're going to get the Penguin show, and that's kind of going to be 1.5. Mm-hmm. And I'm digging the cast too. I love Krista Milioti. Dude that played Shades on Luke Cage is going to be in it.
Yep.
I'm digging that. We're talking about Alberto Falcone, aka the Holiday Killer. Hell yeah. Let's just, we've got some really cool characters coming in here. We've got some really good actors.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I actually am excited for the Penguin.
I had a weird thought watching, toward the end of the trailer, and
sure,
you might agree. It's strange.
I'm always down for weird thoughts.
I kind of, and it could be because of Turturro in the first one, maybe that reminded me of it, the semantic link.
Uh-huh.
But I would really love Tony Shalhoub to be in this somehow. I just think he'd fit.
Maybe, but he's too busy doing Monk.
One movie, they'll be done in 3 months. It'd be fine.
Nah, man, he's got to do Monk.
They'll be fine. He has time. He's an amazing actor. I don't know.
Maybe he's tired. Maybe he wants to take his time and just do whatever he wants. Maybe he doesn't want to do the Penguin. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
I think his flavor would make sense.
I mean, I've never tasted the guy, but maybe.
That would be a weird flavor. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Oregano, maybe?
Why oregano?
Because I cooked with it earlier and it occurred to me.
I was thinking parsley and parsnips.
It's not bad though. Yeah, that could work.
Oh God, I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Creature Commandos. They've put out a cast announcement for Creature Commandos. Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr.
Oh, I saw
He
that.
was Crossbones or whatever from some Marvel stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what he was in or why he was there, but was it a Captain America movie? I don't remember.
Crossbones?
Yeah. Was that Civil War? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's. Wait, hold on. I just don't want to get this wrong now that you've said it, but
I legitimately don't remember him.
I thought he was the guy that was. Yeah, wasn't he like the dude at the end of Winter Soldier? That. Yeah, no, he's. Yeah, he's like the. How do I say it? Early on in the film, where like Wanda kind of fucks up. I think he's the.
That's Civil War.
Yeah.
You said Winter Soldier.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I'm really confused. Whatever, man. That guy from a Marvel thing.
That guy from the Marvel thing. I'm going to look it up in the background now because I just want to know.
We got Maria Bakalova as Princess Ilana Rostovic, who's apparently a whole cloth character. Whole cloth character. According to Gunn, Indira Varma as the bride, Zoe Chow as Nina Mazursky, Alan Tudyk as Dr. Phosphorus, which I'm excited about.
I mean, I can tell from your inflection there.
Mm-hmm.
And I disagree with this exactly none %.
Good. And
Sounds
also,
fantastic.
David Harbour as Frankenstein.
Yeah, that was also great.
Also great. Sean Gunn as G.I. Robot and Weasel. And we get the return of Steve Agee as John Economos.
Sounds fantastic.
Yep. I'm all on board. Someone asked James Gunn if he was going to tell us who Ron Perlman is playing in the show. And James Gunn says, Ron Perlman is an actor I love, but he is not on the show, and he and I never even talked about him being on the show. It might be better if folks stop believing rumors. If it doesn't come from me or DC, it is not to be believed. So keep that, man.
Maybe just actually trust news in some capacity.
Yep.
Can't always.
Which,
you know, I don't like that phrase as I said it. But in this context, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Now, we talked about, I believe we talked about someone spilling the beans that James Gunn was directing Superman Legacy, but he did say, yes, I'm directing Superman Legacy, to be released on July 11th, 2025. My brother Matt told me when he saw the release date, he started to cry. I asked him why. He said, dude, it's Dad's birthday. I hadn't realized. I lost my dad almost 3 years ago. He was my best friend. He didn't understand me as a kid, but he supported my love of comics and my love of film, and I wouldn't be making this movie now without him. It has been a long road to this point. I was offered Superman years ago. I initially said no, because I didn't have a way in that felt unique and fun and emotional that gave Superman the dignity he deserved. Then, a bit less than a year ago, I saw a way in many ways centering around Superman's heritage, how both his aristocratic Kryptonian parents and his Kansas farmer parents inform who he is and the choices he makes. So I chose to finally take on writing the script, but I was hesitant to direct, despite the constant pestering by Peter Safran and others to commit. Just because I write something doesn't mean I feel it in my bones, visually and emotionally, enough to spend over 2 years directing it, especially not something of this magnitude. But the long and the short of it is I love the script, and I'm incredibly excited as we begin this journey. I love that explanation. I know that, a lot of people call him a liar because he said he didn't know if he was directing it yet. And then he was like, I'm directing it. Oh, he's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. But no, a person is allowed to change their mind.
Like, didn't know. I do like the explanation there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a narrative to it that I can appreciate.
Yep. And they released a synopsis for it. It says, Superman Legacy tells the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. As Clark Kent of Smallville, he is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. And I'm sure you've seen some of these updates, people saying like, this person's been cast. But if you follow James Gunn on Twitter, they have hired a casting director for Legacy, but as of yesterday, they have not cast anyone. So if you see someone saying they've cast the thing, it's somebody, or they've been talking to, they haven't. It's a lie. It's bullshit. There was a rumor that, there was a rumor that there would be a Poison Ivy spinoff movie in the Matt Reeves universe. James Gunn said nope. Deadline reported that Mike Flanagan met with James Gunn and Peter Safran to pitch them his take on the iconic Batman villain Clayface. And according to the initial report, this version of Clayface wouldn't be a villain. He would actually be one of the DC universe's superheroes. In the same report, it said Clayface also happened to be a part of the Matt Reeves The Batman Part 2, so it's unclear if DC Studios would choose to use Flanagan's project to tie the film to the DC universe or keep things separate. But
so it's going to be like in Superhero Girls, where a parasite's a janitor or something.
He's a janitor in several things. But look, we talked about that last time.
A quiet hero. Why do
you keep bringing up Parasite being a janitor?
It just cracks me up every time because he's so fucking powerful, and yet it just seems like so fucking mad about them tracking mud on his tile.
Yeah. Well, I did bring up that he was a janitor on Superman the Animated Series as well for LexCorp. But yeah, Mike Flanagan says he confirmed the report, saying the meeting was just speculative and has yet to become real.
I really wouldn't mind Clayface in that one at all.
Yeah.
As a property in there, I think it'd be a lot of fun, honestly.
Either way, wherever it shows up, I'd be fine.
Like, if there was a property where you could do the live-action version of that scene that we all remember from our childhood about the alley
them pouring the miracle salve down his mouth or whatever.
Yeah, like a full NSFW version of that this would be it.
I don't need an NSFW take on that. That was enough. That was one of those.
It was traumatizing. I don't blame them. I mean this in a good way. But like, are you ever going to forget that?
I will never forget that. But it's one of those things that they did in the Batman animated series that was very stylized, and it was also very necessary for them to get the story across because of censors. They had to be more imaginative. And it was one of those situations where just the shadow of them pouring shit down his throat and him suffocating in it was so harrowing. It led so much to the imagination that, and it's one of those things Bruce Timm still hasn't figured out for some reason, because now he can do whatever the hell he wants, and he does, and it's just not interesting.
He basically just draws DC porn now.
Yeah. So, when you bring these movies to a PG-13 level or an R-rated level, they're like, we can finally do these things. And then it's just like, it doesn't have the impact that it did before, because the animated series made you imagine it. It made you do some of the work.
Similar. I watched Chill the Night, the Batman Brave and the Bold episode with my daughter the other day. Mm-hmm. And I had no qualms with how they dealt with like going into the alley and the. Yeah. That felt
the
right.
scene where they spit on the ground before they're shot.
Yeah.
Brutally murdered.
Yeah. Relieve themselves. That didn't bother me. And hilariously, like, all of the dialogue with Spectre and the Phantom Stranger, none of that was something that I felt weird about. The only thing that I was like, hey, let me run you in here real quick. Like, I literally took her to another room when Spectre turns Milo into cheese. Because that one felt a little bit like, let me get you out of here real quick. We'll watch the next episode.
Okay.
I don't know what that says about me, but it definitely, to your point, like the alley was tastefully done.
Yeah.
I didn't worry about that with her.
Yeah.
And we did watch the next episode. It was great.
Sure. I think all of those are.
They are fantastic.
Yeah. James Gunn confirmed that Peacemaker Season 2 will happen after Superman Legacy.
Cool.
James Mangold has confirmed he is writing Swamp Thing and maybe directing.
Also good.
He says he's also working on a Star Wars project. And he says, we'll see what comes to fruition first. The truth is, I'm writing both right now. Who knows what is going to happen and what is going to blossom first or second. I'm acknowledging that I'm doing Swamp Thing. It can all happen. It just takes time. And Gunn said that...
Yeah, he's probably going to do Swamp Thing.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, just a lot of the names that have been attached to the Star Wars universe right now are just, they come and go.
Yeah. Gunn said Mangold was one of the first people he spoke with about writing and directing his passion project, that being Swamp Thing. I'm excited about that. I like James Mangold. You'll remember, I believe James Mangold was the director of Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say Identity, maybe. Isn't that right?
I don't know about Identity.
Oh, I think you do. Maybe you don't. I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, look it up. I don't know what you know.
I mean, I generally just know less than I should.
I mean, yeah, but it's okay. I do too. Like I am pretty sure I know what several of these things are that he's done. But and then I'm on the show and I'm like,
he did
hold
like
on,
Ford versus Ferrari, which was something I wish I'd watched because it was a neat little like inside take on some stuff.
Yeah, he was a producer on that.
It kind of reminds me of like the Tetris film right now.
Mm-hmm.
That, by the way, fantastic.
Oh yeah, he's doing Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, the new one. You know.
Oh, that's where I've seen that recently.
Yeah, he's working on Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi.
Yeah, I'll probably stick to that.
Logan the Wolverine.
Starring Jack Black.
3:10 to Yuma, that was a really good movie.
Yep.
The remake of that. Walk the Line, that was a good movie. Identity, that was fantastic. John Cusack, John C. McGinley.
I'm stuck on Walk
Amanda
the Line.
Peet.
That was fantastic.
Actually, and I know I'll probably take shit for liking this, but Kate and Leopold was good.
It was good. That fucking margarine speech was good. That alone.
Kate and Leopold was good. Girl Interrupted was good. Copland,
Also,
I've heard great
good
things
speech,
about.
but I disagree about margarine. He was wrong, but the speech was good.
Uh-huh.
I do like putting a nail in the idea that like every day we woke up and basically smelled shit. So the moment we had something that was actually good taste,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was historically that was a really good insight.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to take away there. The rest of the movie was just a rom-com.
Mm-hmm. Do you see this teaser that they dropped for the Adult Swim My Adventures with Superman series?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I liked it.
There wasn't much to think about.
Nah, there's not a lot there. It's gonna be a fun
It
show.
looked fun.
But
Like another thing you could watch with Evelyn.
yeah.
I'll probably enjoy it myself.
I think I'll enjoy it. It cracked me up how much the S looks like a Z, frankly.
Mm-hmm. Me too. It's kind of blocky in a way I'm not crazy about, but it'll be all right. It was like, I felt like, I was like, oh, I like how close it is to the Kingdom Come logo, but also how I hate how not close to it is.
I love and hate the same thing.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into a little bit of this WBT here.
Get it up.
A lot of people calling James Gunn a liar because when he announced all the slate and everything, he said Ben Affleck was working with him and had interest in directing. And in an interview, Ben Affleck said, I would not direct something for the James Gunn DC. Absolutely not. I have nothing against James Gunn. Nice guy. Sure, he's going to do a great job. I just wouldn't want to go in and direct in the way they're doing that. I'm not interested in that. And so a lot of people are like, oh, he said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And
No,
yeah,
same interview I mentioned earlier.
He also said James Gunn is, nice guy. I'm sure he's going to do a great job. It's just not what he's into doing.
Yeah.
And I don't think James Gunn lied about it.
No.
I think they were talking to Ben Affleck. He had interest in it. And then he said, oh, this is going to be how you structure things. You're going to be doing it like the Marvel way where you push everything and have, an overarching story. And I don't feel like doing that shit.
reminds me deliberately of how I felt about Edgar Wright leaving the Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
I love that director like through my teeth, but maybe that wasn't the movie he was supposed to make.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I feel bad because I still haven't watched anything he's made since.
There've been a
Like
couple.
literally the last thing I saw that he made was The World's End or whatever.
Yeah, honestly, me too, probably. But no,
You thought about watching Last Night in Soho.
yeah,
I've thought about it too.
that's on a deep list.
You watch that Baby Driver, I haven't seen that one yet
No, Baby Driver is like that one's hard for me because
because of Spacey.
yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of derailed me.
Yeah, it came out at an inopportune time.
It did.
We got Chris McKay talking about Nightwing in a recent interview with Uprocks. He said, no one ever really said that they're not making Nightwing. They just sort of deprioritized it. It was very clear that they were like, look, we have to, depending on which regime you're talking about, because obviously I went through a couple. But there were other things. They had the Zack Snyder version of Justice League, and then they had to figure out how they were going to answer the other films they were making from those movies, whether they're going to do more Wonder Woman movies and that sort of thing, and all that kind of thing. So our movie got deprioritized, but no one ever said, we're not going to make that movie. Right now we have to fix things. And then the regime's changed, and I'm hoping now with James Gunn that maybe we can reapproach that. I'd still love to make that movie. Yeah, it's been a while since we heard Chris McKay talk about Nightwing, dude.
Yeah, I have the highest hopes.
He was talking about it hot and heavy for a long time.
Yeah, and Party wants to be like, oh man, it's been like 5 fucking years, give it up. But then
Why?
in this climate, yeah, it's been like I don't know 72 years since we heard about the Flash film. So
Yeah.
who the fuck cares? Do you want to make the movie? Sounds good.
And
Nightwing.
I mean,
Sounds fantastic.
for God's sake, I think the first time I heard Black Adam mentioned with The Rock was Ezekiel.
Yeah.
So
Also, the Titan situation. I don't know. Maybe it makes it more juicy with Titans out in the world and doing okay.
yeah, maybe. I mean, it's ending.
It is, but that's that's a process. I genuinely, and I feel like a piece of shit because I think this, but I genuinely don't disagree with Zaslav on a lot of what's ending.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't feel like a piece of shit though. If the shit doesn't make money, it doesn't make money.
I get it. I love these things too, but there's some pruning that has to happen to make the whole fucking thing solvent.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, like if somebody else with more money wanted to just like buy DC, sounds great. Let's do it. But we're not there.
We are not.
That's not happening.
So James Gunn was talking to Rolling Stone about superhero fatigue. He says, I think there is such a thing as superhero fatigue. I think it doesn't have anything to do with superheroes. It has to do with the kind of stories that get to be told. And if you lose your eye on the ball, which is character, we love Superman, we love Batman, we love Iron Man because they're these incredible characters that we have in our hearts. And if it becomes just a bunch of nonsense on screen, it gets really boring. But I get fatigued by most spectacle films, by the grind of not having an emotionally grounded story. It doesn't have anything to do with whether they're superhero movies or not. If you don't have a story at the base of it, just watching things bash each other, no matter how clever those bashing moments are, no matter how clever the designs and the VFX are, it just gets fatiguing. And I think that's very, very real. I agree.
I feel like this is what we were talking about with Blue Beetle.
That's what we're talking about with Shazam, Fury of the Gods. I mean, there was a small amount of story there, but it wasn't like part of an overarching story. It wasn't like there was. I didn't feel like there. At no point did I feel like there were stakes in Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
Really?
At no point.
I mean,
I'm like, at the end of this movie, they're all going to be alive. They're all going to be fine.
no, I mean,
The status
of the gods that were
quo-
mentioned that were furious. Like one of them didn't make it, and it was very clear at some point that some of the family that was the base of these movies was not going to make it.
Hell, like
Billy wasn't
Yeah,
going to
he'll-
make it at some point. Yeah, he
Yeah.
did, of course, because
He did.
he's the fucking star of the film. But
uh-huh.
hey,
I mean, at no point did I feel like he actually like died. You know, like I wasn't sitting there going like, "Oh no!" Like I didn't go in feeling like that. I didn't feel like that at any point in the movie. Like it didn't feel like it had any place in the overall.
Yeah, but there's not an overall. I mean, that is also how.
Yeah, there's no overall.
Yeah, there's no overall, but there's not necessarily supposed to be an overall. Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Yes,
But-
in this genre of films, there should be. Because that's also like what we're, doing the associative measure with is it's comics. There's supposed to be an overall. But it doesn't have to be there for the film to have some effect.
No. I'm not saying it doesn't. It has to be there. I'm not saying the movie didn't have any effect at all. I'm just saying, like, I think that it is one of those movies. I think Black Adam was one of those movies that just felt like there wasn't a point to it as far as, like, stakes, or there wasn't really much to get invested in. There were some things that, like, if I really let myself and, like, stretched, I could get a little misty over something, Like,
No, I mean, in Black Adam in particular also, like, I think there's something there with all these. Like, the stakes are there. In Black Adam, it was like a whole country, which is a whole different situation later, as far as is he a fascist or is he like a benevolent dictator? But a whole country of people who are just welcome to see his presence because he freed them from bullshit.
And I think you'll find, if you really ask around to the 3 or 4 people who watched Black Adam, the
5. There were 5, Dave.
I think people were more invested in Dr. Fate getting offed than they were about the people of Kandak.
Well, in that sense, people are invested in Dr. Fate. Like, the only thing that matters is you paid attention for a couple hours.
Yeah, I'm
And
just saying
thought
there's
about it
like
later. I mean, that's really what this is.
Yeah, I'm just, and I'm not saying that they didn't have emotional moments of the story. They didn't have some modicum of stakes, because every movie pretends to.
You have to.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't necessarily feel ring true. Like you don't feel it.
Yeah,
like you're not.
The
you don't
payoff
get as
has to be there.
invested.
Like, Chekhov has to fire his
yeah.
gun at some point, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, like it. Shazam 2 needed to be more than Billy calling what's her face mom. Like.
I mean, so that's where the gradient happens. Like, for me, that, I don't know, man. I don't know. I felt that a lot. I liked it.
Well,
Like,
that was
that
great
was enough for me, I guess.
I would have loved to have been, for there to have been like I don't want to call you mom because my mom is shit, but, and you're great. So,
Well, to some extent, yeah, it was like, oh, you actually care, so I guess I'll call you mom. But that family kind of proved that it was a family, and I really enjoyed that whole arc. I mean, if those are just 2 films about a family building itself, I'm good with it.
yeah.
That does not have to be cinema for me. Scorsese need not be involved.
Why would you call me mom? You're too hot. I don't feel comfortable. Oh God. I mean, you adopted me when I was like 16. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Anyway, someone asked James Gunn if he would be working with Margot Robbie again. He said for sure.
Those 2 should. That was one of the best parts of that movie.
Mm-hmm. And then Gunn also took to Twitter this past Wednesday to shoot down a bunch of rumors about what was going to be in Chapter 1, in the remainder of Chapter 1 that he didn't announce. And it was on Reddit, and these people were claiming it was going to be Animal Man, Lobo, Justice League New Frontier, Superman versus the Authority, Mr. Terrific, and the second season of Peacemaker. He said, there's no truth to all of those things being in Chapter 1. It is totally made up. Peacemaker Season 2 is coming out after Legacy.
I'm just honestly happy that there's a Peacemaker Season 2 in the works.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like Waller is going to be like Peacemaker 1.5, maybe.
Sounds
in
fantastic.
a lot of ways. And that's coming out next year, supposedly.
And I hope that the arc is that he actually becomes Peacemaker rather than like Rick Flag telling him like Peacemaker my dick or whatever the fuck he said when he was dying.
Peacemaker, what a joke.
Yeah. And
he didn't say Peacemaker my dick. Peacemaker my dick.
That was the sentiment. And later, like, you remember it was one of my favorite moments in the series when he says, like, I don't want to kill anymore.
Uh-huh.
Again, I don't know what the phrasing is, but that was the sentiment.
He went, kill her my dick. Kill her my dick.
I don't want to kill any more dicks. I've killed and eaten enough dicks. Whole beach of dicks. He might have. He might have killed that many dicks. I don't know. It's hard to gauge, even though I tried. Like, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing like a version of him where that was his new thing, was like he neutralizes at worst.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to see him sing into another, vibrator, because that was fantastic. I've sold people on this show by saying that he basically sings into a vibrator at some point. Karaoke's, so to speak.
And I don't even remember that, so.
And that's when he gets attacked by the first butterfly chick or whatever.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Oh my God, I can't believe you have this album, blah, blah, blah. And then I think it's a vibrator. Could be a dildo. Maybe make it a dildo next time if it's not. If it's not on the first time. I think John Cena would sing into a dildo.
Probably, yeah.
And it would be fucking hilarious. I'm down for it.
I don't know. I think the gag is a bit done.
Nope. Do it again.
Please don't. I will die on that hill. Please do not do that gag again. It's been done. Move on.
You'd laugh.
I would only laugh because I'd be like, well, Jason's happy.
Isn't that enough?
No. No, it's not. Not for me, it's not.
For a fleeting second, it'll help you.
All right, so Gunn addressed this rumor that he fired Zachary Levi as Shazam and has hired Alan Ritchson. Someone asked if that was true, and James Gunn said, no, LOL, Jesus.
Dye his hair and it would have.
I mean,
it would have worked. Yeah.
It was just these rumors, though. Like, oh my God. There was a rumor that
he'd had to fill the suit at all at this point after Breacher.
There was a rumor that
that was the show with the male nudity.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was the show with the nudity warning. It was just because he kept being topless in several shows.
Gotcha. So there's a rumor that's been going around that Aaron Paul is in talks. This is the kid that played Jesse Pinkman on Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Rumors that he was in talks to star in Booster Gold. Someone on Reddit said it seems pretty likely that he will get the part. They are also hoping for him to cameo in Blue Beetle, but that part sounds more like wishful thinking. No, they've already shot that movie. I don't know much else about the series except that there is a showrunner and they are hoping for the series to release in late 2025. I don't know who the showrunner is, as you just said, but from what I have heard, they are an established showrunner that has not worked on any DC or Marvel projects. Gunn says, zero truth to that. I like Aaron a lot personally and professionally, but we've never discussed this, and the rest of it is also 100% made up.
Yeah. Delete 4chan, buddy.
It was Reddit, but yeah. He was asked if Guardians of the Galaxy actors, if he's talked to any of them about, the entire cast about potentially being in the DCU. Gunn says some of them.
I'm not sure what I would stop from any of that.
Yeah.
I like these actors.
I do too. I don't have a problem with them showing up again.
Nope.
In DC. During a recent interview with Empire, Gunn said that there have been discussions about bringing a crossover to life on the big screen between Marvel and DC. He says, I'm certain that's more likely now that I'm in charge. Who knows? That's many years away, though. I think we have to establish what we're doing at DC first. I would be lying to say that we haven't discussed it, but all discussions have been very, very light and fun. And speaking of kind of a Marvel DC crossover, the Russo brothers have a podcast.
Yeah.
And they did a whole bunch of Marvel stuff, like, Infinity War and Endgame. And on Friday, they announced that Zack Snyder will be appearing on an upcoming episode of their movie podcast, Pizza Film School. The 2-part episode, the first part of which will debut on Tuesday, April 18th. So that's like 2 days from now. Mm-hmm. At 12 a.m. Pacific time, we'll see the trio dissect Snyder's 4-hour Zack Snyder's Justice League. This comes ahead of Snyder's SnyderCon 2023 event later this month, where the Snyder Cut and his other DC movies will be screened to raise money for charity. The post reads, Movie of the Week, Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Russo brothers sat down with Zack Snyder for an extra special episode of Pizza Film School. Part 1 of the 2-part discussion drops Tuesday, April 18th. Make sure you've done your homework and watched the Snyder Cut before listening to these directors totally geek out.
Beautiful.
I think I might listen to that episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to. I mean, if I had to pick like a couple of people to make that amalgam happen. Mm-hmm. Yep. That'll do.
That'll do.
I genuinely can't believe that those just used to be like some dudes that directed episodes of Community.
Mm-hmm. I mean, why not, though?
It's a great heritage. I just, didn't realize this was going to be on the agenda. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they are. So, before we get to feedback and before we close it out, we're giving away 5 free digital copies of Batman, The Doom That Came to Gotham. To enter, leave us a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts or share our show on social media with the hashtag DCOSDoom. And we'll use a random number generator to pick the winners. It does end very soon, but if you slide it in, get it in as quickly as possible, we'll consider you for the drawing. We've got a couple of people here who did it. We got someone who says, "Why is my name always taken?" on Apple. Great show. These guys put out a great show full of entertainment, news, and logical reactions to the tumultuous times at DC. I even went back to listen to the entire backlog. Absolutely love this show. Wouldn't change a thing. It was funny as they gave us 5 stars on Apple, and then at the end of the review said 3 out of 5 stars.
At this point, that could be an inside joke.
It could be, and I don't remember it.
Love you too, buddy.
Whoever you are. And I suppose you're entered into this thing. Mm-hmm. Which, spoilers, not a lot of people have entered, so I think you're a shoo-in.
You're going to make it.
We got Giuseppe Vicaretti shared the show and said, "This is such a freak take on Batman's story and a crazy good Elseworld story. I loved where they took it." So, yeah, Giuseppe, old friend of the show, you're in. We'll just go ahead. Both of you, just go ahead and message us. We'll just send you codes.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're fine.
Hey, Giuseppe. Good to see you again.
What up, Juice? Juice Box. Anyway.
That felt very walking, but...
Juice Boxer. I'm talking to Juice Boxer. Yeah.
According to Jay Moore's advice, you can't just let him have one syllable.
No. You gotta really go for it. I can't do it. I'm really bad at it, but it's fun to try.
No, I get it. I do get the actual substance of it, though. Like, no, you can.
It's also, but you can't do it so pronounced. It's got to almost be like.
Oh no, I'm not doing I wouldn't dare to do a impersonation. I just
an honest take. Yeah.
But the yes, like I get that. He's right about that.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the other dude?
Kevin Pollak.
Pollak.
That's the one to listen to. Jay Moore, never cared for his version. Kevin Pollak, though, man, let's call it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks for listening to DC on Screen. Stop!
I'll be quiet.
You can email us at dconscreen@gmail.com, dconscreen on Twitter and Instagram. I feel like I'm just scared to speak.
Why?
Because of you.
Why?
You know why.
What could happen?
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
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 Keep some DC
Bye.
on your screen.
Our intro music is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Galactic Engineers of Magnetic Sounds, or GEMS, can be found on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Visit DCOnScreen.com to find our Patreon, merch, contact information, and every episode of the show for free, including crossovers we've done with other podcasts. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. For more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, vlogs, parodies, and our improvised web series Hey Guy, visit maladjusted.tv.